Lauren Boebert has been getting a lot of attention for a tweet that she put out, wherein she said, "The news out of Colorado Springs is absolutely awful. This morning, the victims and their families are in my prayers. This lawless violence needs to end and end quickly." Lauren Boebert is, of course, recognized as one of the worst in calling out LGBTQ plus people as groomers and pedophiles to drum up support. She has come out, saying that LGBTQ civil rights threatens all Americans. She has said that trans affirming medical care mutilates children. She blamed transgender people for future terrorist attacks on the U.S. by allowing the TSA to recognize gender identities. She said that kids shouldn't be allowed to see gay people on television. She has attacked Admiral Levine. This individual has no right whatsoever to express sympathy for a group of people that she helped put into a bullseye. Marjorie Taylor Greene has also come out, but with a slightly different tact. She has basically used the Club Q shooting, the terrorist attack, to attack completely unrelated issues. On Sunday, she tweeted, "Tragically, 300 Americans die of fentanyl poisoning every day in America, and Biden says and does nothing. Tragically, 5 people were killed in a shooting in Colorado, and Biden immediately demands a ban on assault weapons. The solutions are this: secure the border and stop the drugs, defend our right to keep and bear arms so that people can defend themselves from killers who could care less about laws." On a side note, the shooter at Club Q, the terrorist at Club Q, was actually subdued by unarmed patrons at the club. No one pulled a gun on that individual. In fact, reports say that one of the patrons pulled the terrorist's own gun and pistol whipped him with it. This is perhaps one of the most insulting, in my opinion. Franklin Graham and his ministry sent the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team chaplains to the Colorado Springs community to offer emotional and spiritual support. The Billy Graham Evangelistic Association has promoted anti-LGBTQ ads on social media. It materially supports proposed laws further criminalizing LGBTQ people. Franklin Graham served as the head of the Samaritan's Purse, which banned LGBTQ people as volunteers. He said that there is a need for a regime change in the U.S. because trans rights are evil and wicked. He's called LGBTQ rights a godless secular agenda. He said that LGBTQ people are extremely dangerous if they're permitted to proceed unchecked. Libs of TikTok loves their opportunity, basically coming out and saying that the organization Drag You Taunt, which is a Colorado-based group that provides a safe stage for aspiring drag performers age 8 to 18. They said this organization in Colorado teaches kids how to become drag queens and helps kids safely experience the art of drag on stage. And we know that when Libs of TikTok identifies a location, it is then targeted with harassment and violence. So this organization designed to help kids is another new target for the audience of the Libs of TikTok. The LGB Alliance, which is based in the UK, we are horrified by the news of the mass shooting at Club Q in Colorado Springs and stand in solidarity with LGB people worldwide against this senseless hatred. Our thoughts are with the victims and all who knew them and loved them. A trans man, a trans woman, and a drag performer were all killed in that attack. LGB Alliance, by claiming that only standing in alliance with and solidarity with LGBT people around the world, intentionally excluded those 3 victims of this hate-based terrorist attack. Of course, people have been coming out and letting LGB Alliance know how off base they were. So we just hope to see that they continue to get railed upon by the public. One of my personal favorite politicians, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she was not afraid to put the pin right where it needed to point. She came out and said, after Trump elevated anti-immigrant and anti-Latino rhetoric, we had the deadliest anti-Latino shooting in modern history. After anti-Asian hate with COVID, Atlanta, Tree of Life, Emmanuel AME, Buffalo, and now after an anti-LGBT plus campaign, Colorado Springs. Connect the dots, GOP. That right there should be its own hashtag and rallying cry. To get the GOP to recognize that they have been very responsible for what has happened in Colorado Springs. Connect the dots, Christianity. Because evangelical Christians and Christian nationalists have also been culpable. Those evangelical and conservative Christian nationalist groups who have backed every form of anti-trans legislation, anti-LGBTQ movements within school districts, within town councils, city councils, who have gone up to state and federal legislation, every one of them should be told that they are responsible for this. That terrorist was following their game plan. Every time we have heard a preacher proclaim a message where gay people, lesbian people, trans people should be killed, should be imprisoned, should be treated to the worst because we are less than human, those churches are responsible for that club. And it is time that they be faced with that accountability. The church is no longer a sanctuary or a refuge for people. It is an incubator of hate and terrorism, sending people out to cause destruction, to bring harm, to destroy innocent lives, all in the name of some righteous and elevated, sanctimonious attitude of they have a better idea of how people should live. The days of unchecked religious, specifically Christian hatred toward the LGBTQ plus community has to end now. When are we going to see people step up, step in the way of these money-hungry, power-driven religious leaders and tell them to take a seat because their day is done?